All right. What a wonderful and beautiful, glorious day it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. It is a super Saturday. Absolutely, it is. It is April 11th, 2026. Wish my youngest nephew was here with me because he was here with me last night and he wanted to be on live with me. And obviously, him and his brothers, they are subscribers on my YouTube. I'm YouTube live and I'm Facebook live simultaneously. And he loves to do the Super Saturday with me. So I appreciate their support. All right. But we're simply going to go over this is the weekly trade watch list. Simply going to go over the trade idea that was posted on yesterday's live session. And it was a Bitcoin trade that did a 1 to 10. And what I'm going to simply do is do a replay mode of it and simply tell you everything that my thought process that all these markers that I marked up, everything as well. And what my thought process was, excuse me, entering before the trade and entering into the trade. So here's the deal. What I cannot cap and what I cannot fake. You see right here, this orange line, this would be on my M5 time frame on Bitcoin. You see how this clock right here is dim, which means it was an alert that was TP1. This right here is on my M1 time frame on Bitcoin. You see how it was an alert. It's dim, which means it was lit at one point in time. And when price hit it, that was TP2. And right here says I can't cap, I can't fake nothing. Look right here, it says April 10th. Today is April 11th. So TP1 hit, TP2 hit, right? No capping over here. So what I'm going to do is give a play by play, candle by candle replay of what was going on before the trade, what I was looking at, things of that nature, and how I handled the trade internally. Okay. So what we want to do is simply, we have the replay right here. Boom. Let's go to replay mode. Let's back up about right here. All right. Cool. So now what I'm looking at is that I marked up this chart, right? And then I said, okay, cool, bet on the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin, right? I said, okay, this is a low. It simply broke this high, created a new high, right? So I said, let me go into a lower time frame. Excuse me, let me go into a lower time frame and see if the sellers want to become present, right? And that simply tapped into a daily supply zone, right? So I said, okay, eventually this demand zone has to come back and get refilled. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know what in what shape and form and fashion. All right. So bam, then I go down to the 1-hour time frame. I mark up on the H1, right? And I said, okay, cool. We have a low right here. This low broke this high, created this new high, came back down, created this low, and then we had a retracement. So now I have this as a 15-minute order block. So we go down to the M15, right? M15 internal price action. I have this listed as an imbalance, right? I have this listed as an imbalance because why? Okay, we have the 1-hour high, then we had what? Price created this low, have a lower high, retrace this bearish engulfing candlestick, and this led to a what? Excuse me. Internal break of structure and create a new low. And so now this is unmitigated, sitting on one leg, supply zone. It is imbalanced. It needs to be mitigated. So I said, okay, cool. This is a low. This is a high. Then obviously we got this marked out as the 1-hour low. And then we got this marked this as a 1-hour low. Then it said, okay, cool, bet. Then we started seeing what? Price crawl back up, right? So on the M5 time frame, I mean orange right here, the orange markers on the M5 time frame. So we're simply gonna press play. We're gonna do a candle by candle, doing the candle by candle deal. So we press play. Now here's the deal. Right here, even though we're looking at it on the M5 time frame, I placed this on the M1. We have a bearish, excuse me, not a bearish, we have a bullish engulfing candlestick, right? That's simply unmitigated, that's simply standing on one leg in this particular area. So we looked at that and said, okay, cool, that's a demand zone. This is in all of these blue demand zones, or you see red supply zone. These are simply entries and or exits for me to be able to do what? Enter the market or exit the market. Okay. So I map them out, map my way to the millions. So it's unmitigated. So, okay, I say this is a high, this is a low. We press play. Market created a new high, came back. Okay, or it didn't. No, it didn't come back. It created this low. This low went up to break this high. So I said, hey, this is a unmitigated demand zone where the buyers can come into the market at, right? So then press pause. I simply start marking up. I said, this is the 15-minute high. So then I simply started marking up. I said, hey, here's my philosophy that I tell myself. A couple of things. First philosophy. If this market wants to continue to be an uptrend, a higher lows main purpose, main obligation, main responsibility, main priority is to do what? Break an old high and create a new one. If it doesn't do that, the sellers probably want to come into the market. Okay. So this is a 5-minute M5. We're looking at a Bitcoin on M5 time frame. This is a higher low. Its primary duty and responsibility is supposed to break this old high and create a new one. Not saying it's going to. I'm saying this is its responsibility and duty. This is its primary duty and obligation. This higher low is supposed to break this higher high. If it doesn't, sellers probably don't want it to be broken, probably want to come into the market. So then we go down to the yellow part, which is a Bitcoin on my M1 time frame, right? So then we still have this low right here, right? So we got a low, internal, high, higher low. We have an internal break of structure right here. Market created a high. Market came right here, created a higher low, internal break of structure right here, created a high, right? So I said, here's the deal. Here's another philosophy that I told myself. If this market wants to go bearish, it would not go touch a demands. It would not go refill a demand zone imbalance first. It would simply come back and refill itself first and then go touch a demand zone imbalance, right? But in this case, we have a bearish engulfing candlestick. And I said, okay, cool. My anticipation is, hey, I want this candlestick to come back right here. Or I need to create a pullback to this level before it go touches the demand zone. If it touches the demand zone, then this has confirmed to me that this wants to be a pullback, correction, and a retracement of a possibly continued bullish trend. So we press play, right? Price decides not to come back and hit this area. It decides to mitigate a demand zone, which is okay and cool. So now we're still chilling. So now the market created a low, internal high, higher low, internal break of structure. So now here's the deal. We have a higher low again. A higher low's primary duty and responsibility is to do what? Break the old high and create a new one. In this instance, this higher low did not have enough juice, have enough strength to break this old high and create a new one. It equaled out. So it turned out to be a double. Okay. So then I said, okay, let's see what happens. Continue to press play. Right now, the market has not confirmed that it wants to go bearish yet. Okay. It hasn't confirmed yet based off the where I have the candlesticks paused at. Right. So we have this high. And so we press play. The market has now broken this low, disrespected this demand zone where buyers had opportunity to come into the market, and the market also took this low out. So now this high has led to what? This low right here. So now it's hit this demand zone. Now here's the deal. This market can still go bullish off of this possibly being a higher low because we have an old low that's broken, new low that's been formed, and it could possibly do what? Push up, take out these highs, and create a new one. That's possible. We need to see if this mitigation right here wants to be what? A pullback, correction, or retracement, or does it want to start a internal bullish trend? It's going to be one or the other. It can't be both. Okay, so we press play. And simply right here, the market simply goes back immediately saying that, hey, we want to be a retracement, which means, okay, cool, this thing wants to sell. So now on this particular candlestick right here, the market closed as either a tweezer top or a bearish engulfing candlestick. Hint, hint, a signal saying that we want to go down. We're in a supply zone. The market retraced, had a pullback, correction, retracement. That's number one reason why we should be selling. Number two, supply zone. Okay. Number 3, confirmation candlestick. It says it wants to be a tweezer top or a bearish engulfing candlestick. Confirmed. I also have another philosophy that I say this. This is my third one. Close of the candlestick. Close of the candlestick gives you confirmation. Not forming of the candlestick while it's continuously moving. No. Close of the candlestick gives you confirmation. So that's the confirmation. So then I took the sell when that candlestick closed, right? So we press play. All right, we're in this trade, right? We are in this trade. So now the breakout of of this bearish triangle confirmed to me that it was the fourth market price cycle in the Wyckoff method being a redistribution. So I now know okay, cool. This confirmed to me to be a redistribution. I know now the market needs to print start over with the market price cycle and print an accumulation. So that's what you're going to see is now we have this redistribution, distribution, redistribution, takes out the old low, creates a new low. Now the buyers have to come back into the market. Not saying that it wants to continue, wants to be a bullish trend, but that market price cycle, the buyers have to come back into the market. Accumulation has to be printed. So we get this internal price action, low, high, higher, low, bam, break a structure, high, back to a supply zone, right? So this immediately went accumulation, reaccumulation, back to a supply zone that told us that, hey, we want to be a retracement. Okay. So then this right here, this move right here said, bam, the bearish move right there said, hey, we want to be a retracement. So I would have avoided that as well, as far as like getting in for a second entry. So this move right here, I didn't have my stop loss at break even yet because my TP1 is sitting right here, this orange line. All right, so we press play. That move right here just said it wanted to be a pullback. And so now you got the drop. All right, bam, right there on this level, on that particular candlestick, TP1 was hit, 50% partials was closed, right? Stop loss went from out of profit to in profit at break even, and we let the remaining volume ride, right? So we already paid ourselves from the trade. We are now break even, and we have 50% of our volume closed. This is an example. Say your lot size was originally, you got in this trade at a 0.10 lot size. Price hit TP1, half of 0.10 is 0.05. You would simply go to your broker account, modify, and close 0.05 of your volume. And you have 0.05 left remaining in the market, right? So then press play, right? We're at risk-free. Really don't care what happens to the market. Okay, bam. TP2 has now been hit. So you close what? Another percentage of your volume. And you leave, now you're at 75% closed, right? And now you leave 25% of the volume in the market. So here's the deal. You at the beginning, you was at 0.10. TP1, you closed 50%, which is 0.05. All right. And then again, after that, you want to close 75% of your volume, right? So 0.05, you now close 0.03. You can close 0.03. Okay. So now you're at 0.02 left in the market. You got 25% of your volume left in the market. What's up, baby? And so now we hit TP1 and TP2. We let the remaining volume in the market ride to overall TP3, which is 10% from our entry. We press play. Fat let them out just a few ago. Yes. Okay, price is still doing its thing. Like I said, we are already at what 75% of our volume closed and 25% remaining in the market. So me personally, I always have three take profits. Always have three take profits. I always go for 10%. 10% take profit away from my TP. So this is what you call a um the big win. The 10%. It was a big win because he hit 10%. And it's on the M1 time frame. So all of this, oh man, I don't trade that 1 minute time frame because there's a lot of noise. No, let's just take accountability and say, hey, I don't trade the 1 minute time frame because I have a lack of market understanding and market knowledge. Because here's another philosophy. If you're looking for something to get printed on the higher time frame and you know it prints more often on the lower time frame, why wouldn't you look for the same setup you're looking for on the higher time frame? Why you wouldn't look for it on the lower time frame if it prints more often and you don't have to wait that long for that particular setup to be printed? So right here at this moment is where the market completely takes me out and it hits the overall take profit 3. And that's how I did the 1 to 10 that you seen me post. Okay. So now what we'll do is fast forward to the live market. Okay. We'll fast forward to the live market. Get out of this replay mode. All right, bam. So now Bitcoin has completely dropped, right? So here's the deal. Bam, that's the 1 to 10, right? So the market came back up, right? Because I knew we were in some type of distribution and the distribution wasn't finished being printed. So it hit this particular demand zone right here, right? Hit this particular demand zone, went back, created a higher low, went back up, broke the 1 hour high, and created a new one, right? So now what I need to do is update my markings on my charts, right? So now we have what? A low right here. We have a low on a 1 hour time frame. So I'll make it green, 1 hour structure point. Then you have a lower high, you have a lower low. Market decided to break up above here. Boom. Accumulation, reaccumulation, retracement, right? Retracement. Take out this old high, create a new one, and I guarantee you this is a divergence. If I were to look at it on the 1 hour time frame, I guarantee you this is slanting upward like this, and on the RSI is going to be slanting downward, showing that the market wants to diverge. It's called a bearish divergence. Okay, boom, or it equaled out. You see right here, you got this peak right here, so it's kind of a little high, but what it is that we still got imbalances to refill, right? So let's see. This drop happened for a reason. So the market is in a demand zone right here, right? Now we got to see if this demand zone wants to. We got to see if this demand zone wants to do what? Create on a lower time frame in this particular area. We got a demand zone right here, right? We want to see if the market wants to create on a lower time frame in this particular area a bullish internal price action trend in order to do what? Go back up and create and get some more profit out of it, because the market may want to come back up here and refill this imbalance before it continues to the downside. We don't know until the candlesticks come out, right? But this is a demand zone that it just hit. Let me see, or it probably blew past. No, it blew past it. See, if you look at the wicks right here, bam, it blew past that demand zone. So we know that we got one low broken, two lows broken, possibly what? Sellers in control of the market, right? But we having some type of reaction right here. So they're probably attempting to get buyers to simply place their buy orders, thinking that, hey, oh, this thing about to go back bullish, right? But you can take a small miniature buy, a little scalp, right? So here's the deal. Right here on the M5 time frame, we got the market making a low right here. We have a high. Market creating a higher low. We have an internal breaker structure right here. Internal breaker structure right here. Okay. So then you got the market creating a what? Another high right here. Another low. This low did not have enough juice to break this high, right? So then what? You got the market wicking out right here. And now you got the market doing what? We have an internal breaker structure to the bottom. We have an internal breaker structure to the bottom. So now what we're going to do is follow who's in control. Who's in control? The sellers. So let's go to the M1 time frame to see if we have an imbalance. Okay, we got a reaccumulation right here. This is an area of interest where the buyers could potentially come into the market, or the sellers will simply take these lows out. Okay, let's see what happens. So we have a bearish breaker structure to the bottom, right? So we just sit here, chill, and wait. So now what we have is a distribution, redistribution that simply is going to do what? Refill some type of imbalance. Okay. And what we want to do is wait on and see if the market is going to create a pullback, and is it going to create a bullish pullback, correction, or retracement, or is it going to establish a trend shift and create a low, high, higher low, and going back to create a higher high? Is it going to have a internal bullish breaker structure? If it does have that, then we'll look to get in on the second one. Okay. But if it doesn't, then it'll have a pullback, correction, or retracement to a supply zone, and we'll look to get in for a sale and look for the continued sales to the downside. That's exactly how I trade. No strategy, just looking at market structure. Okay, cool. This low was supposed to break this high, but it didn't. Respected the supply zone, boom. Now we got what? This high, took out this low, created this low, retracement, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, came back, refilled this supply zone, lower high. So now we got this possibly being a what? A redistribution right here. That simply did what? Took out this low and created a new low. So now we want to see, now that this is a redistribution, we know that the accumulation need to come into the market, but we don't know if it's going to be a pullback, correction, or retracement, or is it going to be a what? An internal bullish breaker structure, market shift trend. Don't know until the candlesticks come out. So here's the deal. If it wants to continue to change trend, market will do this. Low, you got a high, higher low, and it'll do this. So then I would look to do what? Get in on this second one right here. Look for a retracement to here, look for a buy right here, and then shoot it back up to a supply zone, being right here. That's a supply zone that's unmitigated on a 1 minute time frame. If the market chooses to do that. If it doesn't, okay, it's going to tell me what it wants to do. It's going to either be one thing or another. It's going to be a pullback, or it's going to be a shift trend. So right now, that's a pullback. That's a pullback to a supply zone. That is to a redistribution supply zone. That is to a redistribution. So now what I want to see is the sellers should be able to come into the market. I don't know how they're going to come into the market. They got 4 different variations of how they can come into the market. So, but I'm just being disciplined with what's happening. That's all I'm doing. Being disciplined with what's happening. Same thing how we was able to capitalize off the same way how we was able to capitalize off the Bitcoin trade from yesterday's session, right? So let's see what it wants to do. Boom. We have a straight pullback to a supply zone. Now, what I'm going to do is simply be patient and wait on an entry. Simply be patient and wait on the sellers to come in, because we got a straight streamline pullback to a supply zone. We're going to wait for these sellers to come in. Remember, got several philosophies. See if it's going to be a pullback retracement, or correction, or is it going to be a market shift trend? Okay, decided to be a pullback. Okay, now close of the candlestick gives you confirmation. Right there, didn't give me confirmation saying that the sellers wanted to take over. They didn't give me any confirmation. I'm not saying that the sellers didn't take over right here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it didn't give me any confirmation to get in. All right. So now let's see what this want to do. Does this want to be a pullback or retracement? We'll see. Right now, it went past the redistribution supply zone. But we do have a 5-minute bearish engulfing candlestick. So let's see what's up. Okay, we got a straight streamline pullback to a demand zone. Okay, so this just told me that it possibly wants to be a pullback. Now let's see if price goes back to refill this imbalance and respects it, or does it break above it? We'll see. We shall see. Playing a glorified game of refill the imbalance. See what price wants to do. This is live Bitcoin price section on the M1 time frame. See what price wants to do. And it took me years. It took me trial, tribulations, error to be able to, I'm looking at these markers, looking at these charts and things of that nature to keep, to incorporate some discipline, and not just taking these impulsive trades, not just taking any and everything that pops into the market. All right, so we have simply refilled this imbalance. Let's see if this low wants to pull up and break this high, or let's see what it wants to do. Let's see what the market wants to do. So as of right now, on the M1 time frame, this is what we have. We have this low, right? We have this high. We have this low right here. And let's see what's going to happen. So remember, like I said, remember one of the philosophies said a higher low is supposed to do what? Break an old high and create a new one. If it doesn't, the sellers are coming to the market. We got to wait on your confirmation candle. That's a doji. That's an indecision candle. Don't want to get into the market yet. So we are refilling. We are refilling this retracement right here. Let's see if this higher low, this guy right here, let's see if he has enough strength to be able to push up and break this high, or does this want to be an internal bullish market structure shift? So right now we have a low, high, higher low. If this wants to be bullish, this will hold right here and break up and create a what? A new high. Let's see. Let's see what we have. If one or the other is going to happen, let's see what we have. Both can't win, only one can. So let's see what's up. Okay, so now this turned out to be what? A high, low, lower high, lower low right here. So now we're looking for what? Sales. Now I'm looking for the market to do what? Push back and look for me an entry. I'm waiting for it to pull back and look for an entry for a possible sale. Because this just showed me what? This just showed me that, okay, high, low, okay, lower high. This is a low, high, higher low. Higher low didn't create a higher high. We got a lower high that created what? A new low. So now we have a high, low, lower high, lower low, breaking structure right here. Now I'm looking for a sell right here. I'm not gonna put a pending order sell limit. I'm gonna look for me a legit sell, market execution. See how the market want to play out. I need me a pullback retracement. I don't need me a market structure shift. See that? I need me a straight streamline to a supply zone. Then I'll look for a sell. straight streamline, pullback, correction, or retracement, then I'm looking for me a confirmation candle. So now my mindset is bearish. I don't chase either. If you want to continue to go down, break this low, create a new. Okay, cool, bet. That's fine. That's called being disciplined. Let's see what we have. Now, if this wants to be a true lower high, its job is to do what? Break this low and create a new low. If it doesn't, buyers do have an opportunity to come in off of this deal right here. They have an opportunity. That's how you trade. It's just simple mentally. And we ain't gonna just hop into any type of sell and just catch a falling knife. Okay, cool. Bet it didn't do what I was anticipating for it to do, but then you do have a break of structure right here. So you got a break of structure on a 1 minute time frame, right? Bam, break of structure. So now that the market has broken the old low and created a new one, who got to come into the market? Buyers. Buyers got to come into the market. Buyers got to come into the market. We don't know how they want to show up, but we know they got to show up. Okay, that's a pullback to a supply zone, right? There's a pullback to a supply zone, but guess what? The candlestick is still forming. We got 33 seconds left on this particular candlestick. The candlestick is still forming. There's a pullback to a supply zone. Still hasn't shown me that it wants to go bullish. That is still a retracement to me. That's a pullback to a supply zone. This thing may want to diverge. Only God knows. You got to see what's up, though. Remember, we do have a confirmed redistribution right here. So we'll see what's up. Market gonna reveal itself. We just being disciplined. So now the market has refilled the supply zone. This is supposed to be a lower high to take out this low and create a new low. If it doesn't, the buyers will stop it from happening and push back up. We'll see what happens. All right. Does this lower high have enough juice to break this low and create a new low, or the buyer is going to simply come back into the market and push this back up? One or the other is going to happen. Both can't happen. So we'll see what's up. Very, very interesting indeed. See, okay. So let's switch this to a buy. See what's up. Let me see what's up. Okay, bullish engulfing candlestick. Market still hasn't taken out this lower high yet. So we're in a confusing market. So what we have now is Okay, the market took out that high. What I want to see the market do before it go touch the supply zone is come back and refill this imbalance. If it decides to come back and refill this imbalance before the supply zone, we getting in for a buy. All right, when to go touch the supply zone right here, you see? So now let's see if this supply zone wants to pull back and push this, or is this going to go straight streamline to a supply zone? So we got this supply zone right here. We got our accumulation. We got our internal bullish breaker structure. Now, if this wants to be a lower high that just hit this supply zone, it has to do its job and break this low and create a new low. If it doesn't, the buyers will come in right here off of this deal right here. And we'll look for our entry. I'm just calling what I'm seeing live. So we got this mitigation right here on this supply zone, right? Got that mitigation. We refilled this imbalance. This wants to be a lower high. It's supposed to what? Break this low and create a new low. If it doesn't, boom, the buyers will stop it right here. We'll see what happens. Let's see what the market decides to come up with. Accumulation, reaccumulation. It's supposed to be some type of a lower high to come down and go bearish. We'll see if it wants to be a pullback or a retracement or correction. That's simply how you trade, fam. All right. Let's see what the market wants to do. I'm telling you, when I have these philosophies that I'm written down, they come up here, write them down, boom. I just keep it disciplined. You're not gonna make me. But years ago, I was getting to the market for any and everything. Oh man, it did this. Oh man, it did that. Woo, woo, woo. And then not understanding why I won the trade, or also not understanding why I lost the trade. So I can either duplicate it or avoid it in the future. Didn't know how. So we still cooking with grease. Not in the trade yet. See what this market doing. Okay, so we took out this high. We can erase this. All right. So now we got this low right here, right? So we have internal bullish price action. We got a low, high, higher low, internal breaker structure right here, right? So now this is a reaccumulation. It accumulated, reaccumulated, went straight back to a supply zone, right? So we got this supply zone is now being mitigated, right? Let's see if this mitigation wants to turn out to be a pullback, correction, or retracement, or does it establish a bearish trend? Now it's touching this supply zone imbalance. Let's see what's up. See what the market can give us. It's going to just pull back to this reaccumulation, or it's going to establish a bearish trend, internal bearish trend. If it does, boom, we hopping in for sales. If not, we chilling. Let's see. What is the market going to do? What does the market want to do? Notice got a reaccumulation, so we know we're looking for a distribution. Okay, price going up higher. Boom. I'm attempting to stay on as long as I possibly can to be able to take an active trade and it hitting TP1. Okay, let's see what does the market want to do. Market's pushing up again with another lower time frame accumulation, possible reaccumulation. Let's see if that wants to take out this high right here. Patiently waiting. We sat here and watched several candlesticks. I still haven't jumped in. Not anxious. And you develop that discipline over time, y'all. Develop it over time. Just because this exhausted out with a long wick, that's hinting that sellers are in this area, but that necessarily doesn't mean that sellers are about to take over. That's not the confirmation candle that I'm looking for. Sellers about to take over, because this could be a miniature reaccumulation on the second time frame. So let me mark this up for everyone, that this is a low, this is a high. You got a higher low right here, internal breaker structure right here. So if this truthfully is a low, it's supposed to be what? A low that takes out this high, if it truthfully wants to do that. So 1 minute internal breaker structure. Okay. So bam, we had this, take this out. Now, what I don't want to happen is this go and touch a demand zone, right? I don't want it touching that demand zone, because if it touches that first, then it's showing me that it wants to be a retracement. Okay. You see how I want to go touch the demand zone first? So it just told me that it wants to be a retracement. Now I'm going to look for a possible buying entry. It's in a reaccumulation demand zone right now. So now I could say this is a high, right? It's a lower high. If it's a lower high, its job's supposed to do what? Take out this low and create a new low. If it doesn't, buyers will come back to the market. So it took out this reaccumulation and is mitigating this demand. Ooh, that's a nice drop. Nice drop. So it broke this low, right? Still, it just wasn't a confirmation. It just wasn't a confirmation for me. It just wasn't a confirmation for me. So I'm still disciplined. Still being disciplined. So this lower high did its job, took out this low and created a new low. So now this is another what? Breaker structure. Okay, remember, remember this whole thing is supposed to be an accumulation, because we have a redistribution right here, right? So this is supposed to be possibly a bullish divergence. See how this is slanting lower? So we're still being disciplined. Still being disciplined. Haven't seen a move yet in the market that, warranted me to get in for a buy or sell. So this just told me it wanted to be a retracement and a pullback, because it went to immediately hit demand zones. Took out this demand zone, took out this demand zone, boom, create a new low. So guess what? Let's see if this wants to establish an internal bullish trend to go back up, or does it want to be a pullback or a retracement to the supply zone? We'll see what's up. We'll definitely see what's up. But hasn't warranted me yet in order to get in the trade for a buy or sell. I haven't missed anything yet. I don't like placing pending orders either. That's called a risk entry. I have no evidence. All right. Or the only evidence I will be an imbalance. I like to have multiple confluences. So since this is just doing a straight stream line back to a supply zone, I'm now looking for what? I'm now looking for sales, possible sales. So we sitting here chilling. Sitting here chilling. Let's see what the market wants to do. It's high. This lower high. Broke the structure, created this low. Acts like it wants to be a retracement. So let's see if it turns out to be an engulfing candlestick or something like that. Close of the candlestick gives you confirmation. This looks like it wants to be a mitigation. So that was a pullback and retracement. So this low into this internal high right here, pullback and retracement right here to mitigate this candle. And let's see what happens after that. If the market decides that it wants to break beyond this wick, then I'm going to go ahead and go in for a sell. And there it is. All right. So now I'm in for a sell. I'm going to place my stop loss right above this lower high, 71.80124. All right, and let's see what happens. All right, so my entry is 71.680.85. Somewhere right here. So 71.680.85. All right, stop loss is at 71.80124. Snap. Whew. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm looking for the market to continue to push down. Remember, regardless of where I get in at, I always go for a 1 to 10. Regardless of where I get into the market at, I always go for 1 to 10. So let me look to the left on a higher time frame. Where we at? Yeah, that's cool. So let's see. All right, so like I said, we're in for a sale. My TP1 for this sale. Price may want to push back, hit this stop loss, and then come back to the supply zone right here before dropping. I can see that happening. See, the market probably wants to use this as a this is like a retracement to this right here, respecting this low. So what I'm looking at now is this low, this being a high, this being a higher low, this higher low possibly breaking this internal structure and creating an internal higher high. That can happen. That possibly can happen. I'm not saying what's going to happen. I never know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying what could possibly happen. So, but my TP1, since this has been mitigated, it look like that's been mitigated too. My TP1 would be, I'm going to say right here. Let's see. I'm going to say right here. This will be my TP1 right here. Set an alert. Say TP1 hit right here in this particular area. And then TP2 will be another zone. So right now I'm just focused on TP1, seeing what the market's going to provide. So we're already in this trade for a sell. Let me see if the market is going to present itself with another opportunity. So it did what I anticipated. It created an internal break of structure right here. High. So then I would be looking for what? Another additional sell. But remember, confirmation sales. We trade based off confirmation. So this low led to what? The market breaking structure right here, creating a new internal high. And if it decides to smack this, then we can look for another confirmation sale. But if it decides to create a higher low first, then we may be in some trouble and stop loss may get hit. And see, it looks like it's going to go mitigate, create a higher low first, and then push back up. See, yeah, but I'm not going to take myself out the market. Simply just let my stop loss get hit and reevaluate. Losing is part of the game, bro. That's part of the game. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Snap. Market break this wick right here. We got a chance for this to go bearish, but I doubt that it may want to. I think it's gonna pop back up and at least hit this zone right here. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and probably take my lick and probably close my trade and then reevaluate. Let me see. If it take this wick out, we got a chance for this to go down. But if we keep mitigating and pushing back up, this thing may go bullish. Take this wick out, it's done. It's gonna go bearish. But if it break back above, I see this thing going back bullish and probably going back to refill at least minimum this redistribution imbalance. So I'm gonna set up for a possible buy entry. Let's see what's up. Probably close my trade. Let's see. I gotta see what happens. Right now, is a battle between the buyers and the sellers right now. Okay, it broke that low. So I'm seeing that this thing possibly potentially wants to continue to go down. Or let's see, because like I said, I can see this being a redistribution, and because this you got to realize the market broke an old low, created a new one, so it may want to come back up and refill this supply zone right here. We got this being a supply zone as well. So the market may want to come back and refill this and create a lower high and come back and create a lower low. Though we are bearish. Let's see, 1 minute supply zone. So let me see. I'm gonna close my trade and I'm gonna get in for a buy. I'm gonna get in for a buy entry. Buy that thing back up. So got in for a buy entry, simply close my position. based off knowledge. I can see this being some type of reaccumulation it wants to be. Let's see. Snap. So let's see. Erase this. Let's see. I'm in for a buy entry at 71,709. 80 cents, 71,709. So somewhere right around here. 80 cents. Okay. And then the stop loss, I'm placing below this wick right here. Okay. And then we at least going right here. Let's see. Well, this is the first zone and area of interest where the sellers can come into the market. I really doubt that the sellers stop it right there, but they can. They can stop it right there. But like I said, we always go for, regardless of where I'm at, I always go for 1 to 10. I know that's not realistic, but like that's my big win for me. That's my big win. So 1 to 10. Looking for this thing to go bullish. We have internal price action already. Low, high. Low, high, higher low did break the structure and create a higher high. So we already have internal bullish price action. Just waiting for the market to do its thing. Yes, ma'am. What's up? Be a little bit. I'm trying to see what's going to be the reaction to this trade. Let's see. Stop loss right below this low. 71,634.03. $634.03. All right. So like I said, we closed that sale with discipline. All right, and we're in for a buy. Stop loss right here. And we automatically go for a 1 to 10. First of all, you got to realize that we also already have established a bullish trend on the 5-minute time frame, right? So the 5-minute time frame, we have what? A low. We got a low, a high, a higher low, bullish breaker structure, higher high, right? So this may be the finishing product of the retracement. This high, low, lower high, breaker structure, lower low. And now that it has a redistribution right here, accumulation is probably now finished creating the higher low to possibly go up and break the structure and create a higher high. That's what I'm anticipating. That's why I closed my sale. And I can remove this now. That's why I closed my sale and I got into a buy entry. Because number one, I'm looking at the market price cycles, right? This showed me be a redistribution that did what? Broke this low, led to a new low. I should be looking for buys, right? So now it's showing me that the buyers want to come in. We already have an established internal bullish price action being this low, high, higher low, break a structure right here, higher high, right? And now price just probably did what? Created this low, right? Took out this old low, created a new one. Boom, that's probably the spring. And I'm looking for this thing to go up and go bullish. So if I go to the M5 time frame, this is probably the what? The orange low, right? to possibly go up and break those structures and create new highs. Hopefully take out this external high right here and continue to go up. So that's what we're looking for. That's why we got in for a buy entry. Switch my trade idea up. This right here is going to be TP1. So we're going to go ahead and put our alert right here. Add alert, message, TP1 hit, apply, create. Let me see. Mitigation before touching the supply zone. I'm going to look to go with another buy entry. All right. Same stop loss, 716303. See. Okay, overall TP is going to be what do I have it at? 72,472.86. Oops. 72,472.86. All right. So I said I'm in buys. I'm in 2 positions for a buy. Let the market print some more candlesticks, and I got in for a buy entry. I'm looking at the buyers wanting to come into this market. We already had a internal market structure shift, and we already internal market structure shift, and then we're attempting to see what's going to be the result of this. Hopefully that's that bullish divergence, that higher low that wants to go up and take out that higher high. We'll see what's up. Hopefully it is, because I mean, like I said, there's several reasons why I got into a buy. This being a redistribution, market broke an old low, create a new one. This possibly wanting to be an accumulation. So we're trading it as such. Want to be a reaccumulation. We're trading this as such as wanting to be an accumulation. So that's why we got in the buys. Even if this trade idea doesn't go in our favor, use proper risk management, stop loss get hit, you just reassess. Losing is part of the game, fam. That's part of the game. I'm thinking this may be some type of test. The test of the spring. You got your spring, got your test, and then maybe this one wants to create a go up and start going bullish. So this looks like it wants to be a redistribution. Push down lower. Let me see. It's already hit this. Let me put my stop loss. I'm put my stop loss below this wick right here. 71, 612, 44. 71, 612, 44. All right. See the market creating a redistribution right here. Hopefully it doesn't take this wick out and it pushes back up. Establish some type of internal bullish trend. Okay, we got a low right here. Before you go hit a supply zone, smack this and then go up. That's what I want to see. Okay, cool. You smack that before you smack the supply zone. Now I needed to break above that wick. All right. Boom. It broke above that wick just a tad bit, just a little bit. Um, let's see, 71, 612, 44. Goodness. Let's see, what is my TP at now? We're only at 7%. Look at the M5 time frame. So it already mitigated this, which is great. Seems like this wants to be a redistribution. But it has not. This is a small redistribution, but where is it going? Isn't this? I don't think this small redistribution is to take out this low and create a new one. I don't think that's the case. Where is it going? This wants to be an accumulation. I have a confirmed redistribution right here. So firm redistribution, breaks an old low, creates a new one, mitigate this, and it may want to smack something on the 1 minute time frame. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe want to smack something on the 1 minute time frame. That's the only thing I could think of. And then what we'll do is just reassess. Yep, stop loss got hit. So what we'll do is just reassess. We know the buyers got to come in. So this is a redistribution, right? So we know the buyers got to come in. This is turning out to be a redistribution right here. So let's see. May get in right here. Let's see what's up. We have a straight streamline. Are we gonna have a straight streamline back to this redistribution, or are we gonna have a pullback, or we gonna have price create a deal? So it just streamline back to a supply zone. So I'm not set on the buy just yet. I'm not set on the buy just yet. Straight streamline back. Boom, boom. Okay, it's pulling back. Let's see if it respects some type of demand zone in here. Creates a higher low. Then we pop up. Let me see what's up. Discipline, baby. Let's see. Price came off of this deal right here. I'm assuming somewhere right in here, or attempting to at least. All right. See what's up. It just came right here and wicked out. So we see if the market wants to go bullish. 1 minute demand. Let's see what's up. Let's see if it takes this low out or does it respect it. So we got a possible high right here. So let's see. We got a low. Got a market creating a high. Going past a redistribution. So let's see if it respects this and doesn't break this low. Let's see what's up. Went past that redistribution. Let's see what's up. Okay, retrace. I wanted to pull down some more though. I wanted to pull back some more. Me personally. Like come deck down here. I don't care if he even takes out this wick. Take out that low. Pull back a little bit more. But if it breaks above this wick, I'm possibly gonna go in for a buy. See what's up. I don't think that was a deep enough pullback just yet. I think it's going to pull back some more. That's my anticipation. Let me see what's up. Okay, we still chilling. I wanted to come down here so bad, so I could be able to get a nice clean buy entry instead of taking a buy up here. Still patiently waiting. That looks like it's going to be a reaccumulation to push up. I don't know if it's going to break this high though. I want this thing to reject, come down here, and me taking a look at it, taking a buy, come replace it. Oh crap! It took out that high. So now we got a low, high, higher low that broke this structure and created a new high. So I'm looking for the price to at least come back down and touch this reaccumulation now. Come touch this went to go touch the supply zone. Come touch this reaccumulation. I'll look for a future buy. So now I can't touch the supply zone. Have a retracement. Back to a demand zone. Come on. See what the M5 talked about. M15. Okay. See what's gonna happen. I need this pullback and retracement. I need a straight streamline. There you go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Straight streamline. Back to that demand zone. Straight streamline back to that demand zone. Come on. Come on. Jakob. Enough for a buy. Enough for a buy. Let's see if Price wants to do something else. I'll probably stack another entry. Three, 2, 1, 0. I'm putting my stop loss right below this low right here. It's gonna be at 71,636.55. Oh, not that one. Oh, we take lessons too. I'm not flawless. I'm gonna show y'all the whole 9. What traders go through. Show y'all the whole 9. Okay. Ooh, nice drop. That means the buyer's coming back in. Come on, bro. What is it doing? Oh, bro, come on. All right, in for another buy. Put the same stop loss, 71,636.55. Oop, stop loss got hit. Okay, on that particular order. Let me close this one too. Shit. All right. Oh, I'm definitely going in for buys now. Come on, this got to be a nice buy. Everything else has been mitigated. It's got to be a nice buy. Let's see. This got a redistribution. Clearly got a redistribution right here. I think it's going to print another redistribution. Because we clearly got a redistribution right here. We got a distribution, divergence, change of character, redistribution. But what comes out of a redistribution is a distribution, redistribution. It should be one to go bullish. Because on a 1 minute time frame, I don't see anything else that it will want to probably attempt to mitigate. You can have this zone right here as a 1 minute OB imbalance. Let's see. High, low, lower high, internal breaker structure, lower low. I'm still looking for it to go bullish. I'm just attempting to figure out when. So low, this looks mitigated. This doesn't look mitigated. So I'm thinking it's already done its due diligence and justice as far as wanting to go, as far as the bearish retracement. Because we, like I said, on the 5 minute time frame, we already established that it wants to go bullish. It's bullish on the 5 minute time frame. Low, high, higher low, internal breaker structure, higher high. So then the market created this low. This low didn't have enough juice to break this high. So now we're in a complex pullback like this. High, low, lower high. And now we got to figure out that low. I'm thinking it's want to pop off somewhere right here in this area to go back bullish. That's my anticipation. Distribution, redistribution. I think it should go bullish somewhere in this particular area. Looking for this thing to do this. Kapow. Let's see what's up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on, bro. I'm about to say. All right, cool. We got all the margin that we used up all the margin. I'm looking for this thing to go bullish from here because I don't see anything else on the 1 minute time frame that needs to be mitigated. This has been mitigated. This is the only one that's probably hasn't been mitigated. So I'm looking for this thing to go bullish, break this high, create a new one. It's going to be big buys. It's going to be big buys. So the entry that I had, the low is 71,608. 40. 71,608.40. All right. Stop loss is going to go right below here. $71,504.21. After I put this in, I'm going to simply have to log off. Live has been going a little bit too long this evening. 5:21. All right. And I'll update you on the result as to what had happened with this particular trade. All right. So we're going to go 1 to 10. Obviously, this is a redistribution right here. Probably looking for price to go way back to this imbalance right here to go refill that thing. Oh, we got to go hit this resistance first. So can't make that assumption. Market's full of M's and W's. So this was once support, now got broken, has to at least be retested as a level of resistance. So I got to respect this particular area as well. So this particular area right here, I got to respect as a broken risk support, come back and retest as a level of resistance. So there you have that on the 1 hour time frame. So it's once support, 1 hour demand. All right, now then go back and test that as a level of resistance. Let's see what happens if and when the market wants to do that. Let's see what's up. Oh, snap. That's what I'm looking for. Is what I'm looking for. Dum, 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 dum. Is what I'm looking for. So it turned out to be a redistribution and another. They had to print a distribution, redistribution. Okay. So looking at this possibly as a completed M pattern as well. You can look at it as that as well. Like this. Dun, dun, dun. That was that pullback to here. Loss. I'm going to just go offline. I'll reassess offline. It's my stop loss. I'll just reassess offline. But appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule in order to listen to what I have to say. It is always greatly appreciated. Now, never ever take it for granted. Have a safe, blessed, productive rest of your super Saturday. Know that I love you. And as I always like to say, God created us on purpose to fulfill a purpose. So what purpose are you willing to fulfill? And always remember, don't be one of many. Be the one. Take care, and I'll see you on Future Live. Possibly be Monday.